Hello, good people. It's me, Shelby, here to do another video on the midterm elections and the Republican Party and where the party's going, in my view. Um, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a person who's independent. I promise you I am. I know a lot of people like to say that they're independent, but I'm truly an independent. I'm a person with who likes to see things in an objective sense. And I just want to talk about what happened Tuesday and where the party's going because there's a problem. There's a problem with the Republican Party, and I am going to get into it real quick. Um, the Republican Party, to me, okay, I'm not going to talk about the Democrats. I may bring them up a little bit, but I'm not going. This video is not about them. I'm strictly talking to all Republicans, all conservatives, right here, as an independent African American independent, speaking to you, and some Black conservatives. I'm speaking to you. You guys, look. I think you guys started to change when Barack Obama got to be president. When Barack Obama became president, a lot of you lost your minds. Okay, he represented something. He represented change. He represented future. He didn't, and a lot of you felt had a psychological discomfort just by seeing him there. He's an African American guy, Democrat. He's African American president. You're used to white men being president, so this was messed up for you now. A lot of you going to push back on me, but I know what I saw. Okay, I looked at some of the town hall videos of conservatives having these town hall meetings and people expressing their frustrations about Barack Obama and the Democrats and all this stuff. And I started to see conspiracy theories come out of that. The Tea Party and how you guys are moving more to the right, to the point where you were calling somebody who's a conservative and a Republican with objectivity a rhino. And now, things just got worse. When Donald Trump gets in there, Donald Trump throws the red meat. Fox News throws the red meat. Donald Trump is now poking at people's prejudices. He's looking at things through an ideological lens. And you're starting to go more right, and more of these conspiracy theories are coming out, things like that. You guys, it's just not a good look. It's not a good look to be in an ideological bubble where you only look at Fox News and you think the other stations are bad. I'm not saying, look, MSNBC and CNN are the gospel, but you guys look at Fox News as the gospel. To me, they are no different than the other two, MSNBC, CNN. Fox News is just as bad, except they just on the conservative side. They just spew out more what you want to hear. There's an appetite for it, and they spew it. So all this red wave talk they were talking about, I did not see a red. I'm with Michael Moore. I did not see a red wave coming. I didn't. So these polls, I could tell, like Trafalgar, Patrick Cullehale, whatever his name is, I don't know his name. I could tell that he was overestimating Republican support. I totally saw that, so he's been incorrect on all of his polling. He got things right in 2016, but ever since 2016, he has not been correct in anything. But people swallow it up. So it's just bad. It's just bad. So I'm going to talk about what the party should do as an African American male, because Republicans as a party have serious troubles getting African American support. I think the Republican Party is in trouble. In the short term, they will still be here, but in the long term, maybe 15, 20 years, I think you're going to be in trouble. As more and more African Americans, the population is growing, more minorities, you're going to find yourself in trouble. So this is what you should be doing. Definitely should be. And don't let Ron DeSantis fool you, because he did great in Florida, but that's Florida. Latinos down there are conservative, but it's not the same in Wisconsin, where I'm from. Ron DeSantis does have a lane here to win an election for Wisconsin. He can win Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's always been tough for anybody. Wisconsin's not Florida. It's not going to be like he can come in here and win Wisconsin. That's not going to happen. There's a lot of Democrats in Wisconsin. There's a lot of Republicans in Wisconsin. There's a lot of independents in Wisconsin. And if Ron DeSantis has that mentality of more ideological policies and things like that, he won't win Wisconsin. He will not win it. He will not. I'm just telling you. Or go to Pennsylvania or somewhere else outside of Florida. So what should the party do in my view is do this. If you want to stay relevant and make your tent bigger, because black people look at the Republican Party as a white party, as a white interest party. They look at the party like that. They look at the party as a white interest party. Now, a lot of you are gonna sit there and say, no, that's but that's how black people are seeing your party. Okay? And I'm gonna get into the reasons. So this is what you should be doing if you want to tap into black votes and black support. Trust me, don't listen to Candace Owens. Because Candace Owens what Candace Owens has done is, she has the same mentality and thought process as a white male conservative. Okay, so she does not represent, and you guys keep putting her out in the front as, oh, wow, she's the black person. No, for black people, they look at Candace Owens as a white male. She's a black female, but they see her as a white man, a white conservative guy. So this is what you should do if you want to tap into black support. This is what you absolutely need to do. Go to that community and listen to their concerns. What you guys do, and when it comes to African Americans, like law enforcement, for example. Black people support law enforcement. They want to be there for law enforcement, but our experience with the police is different from yours, maybe. Okay, so it's not a good relationship. A lot of times, law enforcement, look at black people as criminals, but a lot of conservatives do. Okay, that is a no-no, because not every black person is that way. They make bad assumptions. You make bad assumptions, you get yourself in trouble. So you need to go down there and listen to them. Like, man, what is it about law enforcement that got you guys, what's going on here? And be genuine. And be genuine about it and address it. That's a start. That's a start. Also, institutional racism, structural racism in every facet way of life in America is absolutely 1,000,000,000% real. You can't keep denying that, because now we're not going to support you if you deny it. I know you don't like to talk about it. It's an uncomfortable subject. But if you want support and you want to take some of that support away from Democrats, you need to acknowledge that these things are true. They're facts, and the evidence doesn't lie. The evidence is there. So listen to them and address it. Okay, go in there. If I'm a Republican, okay, institutional, what? What's going on here? Let me go here myself and take a look at this and see what's going on. That's another start right there. Then maybe you can start to get that support away from Democrats. And it's a lot of things, but you need to go in there, be genuine, and listen to those issues, because they're real. Because black people don't want to be around crime. We like you. We don't want to be around crime. That's not something we want to be around. So, and police brutality and all this stuff, George Floyd, a lot of you guys, look, we honestly believe as a community that had George Floyd been a white man, that would have never had occurred to him. We believe that wholeheartedly. Okay, so you need to get in there instead of saying, well, no, George Floyd died of drugs and it just couldn't have been because of race. Is not going to cut it, because we have a history in this country. We have a history in this country. The CRT. Black people are going to ignore that. They don't care what you say. They're going to teach slavery. They're going to teach everything that happened in this country, good and the bad. Good and the bad. They're not going to sweep anything under the rug. By that CRT nonsense and the sweeping the stuff under the rug is not going to cut it with us. It's not. So you need to cut out the CRT talk, because if Ron DeSantis was the governor of Wisconsin and he put in place a policy where you couldn't teach certain things and all that stuff, black people they're going to ignore it. They're not going to follow it, no matter what the law is. We're not following it. And dare the police to try to come arrest us, because then there's going to be a problem. We're going to teach the truth. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson were slaveholders. They were. We're not going to sit there and teach them that, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson weren't slavers and they were good. No. For us, that's not true. That's not a fact. So things like that, okay? Because black people are Democrats, but we got some. They can be conservative. They believe in morality and and character and things like that. Okay, but you just got to come in there and talk to them, be genuine, and not come in there with that ideological lens, because coming in there with an ideological lens with black people is not going to cut it. It's not. And that's the problem with a lot of conservatives. They are so far to the right on a lot of things nowadays that they see things through an ideological sense, and that's why you see all these conspiracy theories come up and things like that. And I'm not saying compromise your conservative principles. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is just go to these communities, the Latino community, the black community, and listen to their concerns, and be genuine and be like, okay, let me see what's going on here. That way you could tap into some of that support. And I'm just being honest with you as an independent guy, because I don't like the Democrats. I don't like the Republicans. I voted for Democratic candidates. I voted for Republican candidates. But what I can't do is vote for somebody extreme. Tim Michaels and Tony Evers ran for governor here. And I didn't know who I was going to vote for, because although Tim Michaels was a Trump-backed candidate, I didn't see him as an extremist. He just didn't come off that way to me. The only thing that made me weary about him was his issues on abortion. But outside of that, I didn't see him as an extremist. Tony Evers was a relatively popular governor. Even though a lot of Republicans don't like me saying this, but he wasn't a bad governor. He just wasn't. And that's probably why he won. And then you had Senator Ron Johnson, who just won his election, and he's a Republican. So there's something that you guys, in the long term, in the future, you guys are going to be, I would say 15 to 20 years, you're going to be irrelevant, because this should have been an election, midterm elections, that the Republican Party should have gained a lot of seats. And why didn't you? Because you live in an ideological world where facts don't get in there. I think the facts are there, but you just don't want to acknowledge it because you just want to throw red meat to the base, and and give them what they want to hear. But you can't do that. You have to tell facts. You have to tell facts. Don't tell the base 2 + 2 = 5 when you know freaking well it's 4. Okay, come on. So again, just leave the ideological stuff alone and get back to more fact-based stuff. Just talking to people, going to the African, you have to do it. The Republican Party in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee at least, got like a post in the African American, like office there in the African American community in Milwaukee. And yet they can't garner support because you keep promoting these stupid candidates. You can't do that. You can't. I don't like ideological candidates. Hobbs and Lake in Arizona. If it was up to me, I'd have to go with Hobbs, because Lake is freaking crazy. Why would you put her there, or Lauren Boebert, Margie Taylor Greene? I can't support these people. I can never do that. Herschel Walker. These are horrible candidates, man. Horrible. So I'm just telling you, as an independent guy, get back to getting more candidates like the New Hampshire governor. I can't remember his name. Sununu. Get that guy in here. Somebody who can peel away these votes from people, from Democrats, and get a candidate in there who will go to the African American community. It doesn't have to be a black guy. He could be a white guy. Or go in there and see what they're talking about. Man, as a Republican, let me go in there. I'd be the first Republican to go in the black community and go in there, and I want to hear what they're talking about. I guarantee you, if you're genuine, the love would be reciprocated. Okay, so you got it. John McCain. We need candidates like that. Sununu, the guy, or John Kasich, I don't care. Just none of that Margie Taylor Greene stuff, because that's not, black people are not going to support her. They're not. Okay? And then you got certain black conservatives who are doing the same. Just not being, just, again, making these YouTube videos like Officer Tatum and other black conservatives who make these videos just trying to profit off you guys. They got books and T-shirts for sale, giving you red meat, and it's giving them money. You got to watch out for stuff like that, because this is poison. They want to sit there and, again, just, inject ideology And you can't do that. You can't do that. So my perspective is, you know, just snap out of that without giving up your principles and tell a fact, you know, and go into these communities and listen to their concerns. The Republican Party do not listen to black people concerns or issues, and why, and they shouldn't, because black people don't never support them, but your party's in trouble. These midterms were a precursor about what's going to happen to you in 10, 20 years, because the fact of the matter is you guys should have racked up the Senate and House, but you didn't, and there's a reason for it. And I'm telling you, it is because you got crazy candidates, you inject too much ideology, and you're going too far to the right on things. And I'm strictly saying this about the Republican Party. This video is not about the Democrats, it's about the party. You guys have to change. Something has to give. You got racists in your tent. You do. Okay, so don't have them be a part of your tent. Don't give them a platform. The Democrats don't do that. They got racists in their tent, but you don't see them giving them platforms. You guys have racists there, and you don't want to acknowledge it, but you do. But you got to not give any of those people platforms. Carrie Lake, a platform. Margie Taylor Greene, a platform. Lori Boyd, don't give them. Don't throw them no support, because they don't deserve it. These people are crazy. Have absolutely no business being in their position as a politician. None. But that's the fault of your electorate. So, but anyway, that's all I have to say. Peace.